Our story begins now in 1904, but decades earlier, around 1840, after the Sand River Convention established the Zuid-Afrikaanse Republiek. Farmers moved into the area claiming vast tracts of lands, but early surveys were imperfect, leaving behind unclaimed pieces of state land on which such a piece, a 685 hectare large, lay between the farms Geduld, die Rietfontein and Brakpan. In 1884, surveyor James Brooks formally registered the land, naming it the Springs for the many natural fountains found here. The legend has it he considered naming it after himself, but feared the Afrikaans-speaking farmers would mock his name, Brooks, for its similarity to the word broek, meaning trousers. Some historical early photos of correlated iron house in the Great Eastern Mine. The value of the land skyrocketed with discovery of high-quality coal. By 1888, the first mining contracts were signed. A small settlement of correlated iron houses sprang up around the Great Eastern Mine. It wasn't a town yet, but a growing hub of industry. By 1902, the Health Committee was appointed to bring order to the fast-growing township. Here's some video of coal miners and the head of the Grootvlei mines. But the coal was just the beginning of the real transformation. Came with the discovery of gold of the farm Geduld in 1889, subsequent identification of Main Reef. In 1902, this sparked a gold rush. In 1904, the Grootvlei proprietary mines were registered, shafts were sunk, and the settlement was officially proclaimed Town of Springs with its own town council. Some photos of Springs in the 1930s and 1950s. Springs flourished by the 1930s. It was surrounded by 8 gold mines, making it the largest single gold-producing area in the world. At its peak, in 1962, it was producing 10% of South Africa's gold and 9% of its uranium. This wealth created a sophisticated modern city, and its growth coincided with the global architectural movement Art Deco, and Springs has many Art Deco buildings. And there's photos of them: City Hall, Art Deco fire station, for example, court chambers, the Pallium Cinema. This legacy defines Springs now. After Miami, Florida, Springs has the highest number of small-scale Art Deco buildings in the world, constructed mainly in the interwar period. These structures, like the magnificent Central Fire Station and City Hall, were symbols of wealth, sophistication, and a deliberate step away from provincialism. They evoke an era of glamour, optimism, their graphic artwork and sleek lines telling the story of a city on the rise. Payville and the forced removals to KwaThema. But this prosperity and beauty were not for all. Under the apartheid regime, the Group Areas Act, Springs was brutally segregated. The city centre and its beautiful Art Deco suburbs were reserved for white, middle and upper income families. The Indian community was confined to Bakerton, East and the CBD, and the black African community living in the area known as Payville was deemed a black spot. Here's some photos how KwaThema looked like in the 1950s. In the 1950s, the town council ordered the creation of a new black township to the southwest, KwaThema. The residents of Payville were forcefully removed and relocated there. A painful chapter of the displacement that has reshaped the social and geographic landscape of Springs forever. Now beyond the mines and living city, the Springs Mall industrial areas, Nutfield, Entra, Kellogg's factory, Sappi Power Mill. As the gold mines began to dwindle by the 1950s, Springs did not die. It reinvented itself as a major industrial manufacturing hub. Today it's home to the only Kellogg's factory in South Africa, a major Sappi paper mill, and Impala platinum refineries. Yes, that's true, for the mines. The city makes things from float glass to swimming pool cleaners, and it's also the place where the swimming pool cleaners was invented. Springs city cultural life is anchored by its landmarks like the Genkampu Theatre, Springs Theatre. It has hosted many events. The Civic Centre is opened in 1974 and is very impressive how it looks like. Monuments dot the city, some not so good condition, but they are slowly getting restored. World War II monuments, President's Park golf courses, Blesbokspruit wetlands with birds, that's some nature in Springs. And while some landmarks like the Mudhoek Hall are now gone, the city's green spaces thrive. President's Park hosts equestrian events, while Blesbokspruit Wetland Reserve is a haven for over 300 species, testament to the natural environment that gave the city its name. Also some famous people in South Africa, like Nadine Gordimer, and the books. Veritas call it the spirit of a place often best reflected by people of Springs, birthplace, childhood home of Nadine Gordimer, who won the Nobel Prize in Literature in 1991. Her sharp observations of South African society were undoubtedly shaped by her early years in this mining town. For much of the 20th century, Springs had a vibrant Jewish community with 2 synagogues serving 300 families. While most of the community has since moved on, the beautiful Springs Church building still stands, a silent witness of the